So, we're about to dive into an educational philosophy that's over 100 years old. But the real question, the one we're all thinking, is how in the world does it hold up in our super-connected digital age? Let's get into it.
And yeah, this is the big question, right? We're talking about an approach that was born when the world was just entering the industrial age. Now, it's supposed to get kids ready for a future that, honestly, we can barely even imagine. So, can it be done? Let's find out.
Okay, so to really understand how Montessori is gearing up for the future, we've actually got to go back to the beginning. We need to look at the core ideas that have made it stick around for so long.
At its absolute heart, Montessori is all about these huge, universal concepts: independence, respect, and yeah, that big one, freedom with responsibility. And look, these aren't just trendy buzzwords for a school brochure. They're basic human values. They were just as important back in 1907 as they are today. This is the bedrock of the whole thing.
I like to think of the Montessori philosophy like a giant old tree with these super deep roots. The roots are these goals: pushing for self-directed learning, building creativity, and encouraging kids to be good global citizens. That focus on self-direction is absolutely key. It's what builds the kind of critical thinking skills you need to navigate a really complex future. And it's what allows the whole philosophy to stay strong and still adapt, no matter what the world throws at it.
So, we've got those strong roots, but how does this tried and true philosophy actually handle the pressures of the 21st century? This is where things start to get really, really interesting. I mean, the amount of change is just staggering. We've gone from the start of the industrial age to a world where technology is literally everywhere. From a time when global connections were limited to today's hyper-globalization. Educators now are dealing with things that were just science fiction a century ago, from a serious environmental crisis to all kinds of diverse family structures. So, does that mean Montessori is stuck in the past? Not a chance. This is where you see the new branches growing from those strong roots. It isn't just hanging on, it is actively evolving. And it's not about just throwing out the old stuff and bringing in the new. It's about a really thoughtful blend. It's about figuring out how to use new tools and ideas without losing the core, child-centered principles. And that practice, right there, teaches a super important 21st century skill: knowing how to choose the right tool for the job, whether that tool is a wooden block or a tablet.
This quote just nails it. Hands in the soil, eyes on the screen. Picture this. You've got kids out in a garden, getting their hands dirty, learning about the environment. That's classic Montessori, right? But at the same time, they're using a tablet to document the plant's growth. It's a perfect fusion of the natural world and the digital one.
And this isn't just a theory, it's happening in real, tangible ways. We're seeing students creating interactive digital portfolios right next to their hand-drawn artwork. They're doing virtual exchanges with schools on the other side of the planet. Classrooms are being built with eco-friendly, sustainable materials, and online workshops are making it way easier for parents to get involved. But look, let's be real. This whole evolution thing, it's not exactly a walk in the park. It creates some pretty big challenges for educators who are trying to navigate this new world while staying true to the philosophy.
You've got these two major tensions that teachers are wrestling with every single day. First, how to use technology to make learning better without losing that hands-on sensory experience that is so crucial. And second, how do you innovate and adapt without watering down the core ideas so much that it's not even really Montessori anymore? Finding that sweet spot, that balance, that's the daily work of a modern Montessori teacher.
So why do we even care that this century-old philosophy can adapt? Well, because its story isn't just for Montessori schools. It's a lesson for the future of education, period.
So let's just state the key takeaway here, loud and clear. Montessori is not old-fashioned, far from it. Its entire design, that focus on adaptability, independence, and being a lifelong learner, makes it perfectly suited to get kids ready for a world that never stops changing. It's not just ready for the future, it's a model for it.
So here's what we can all learn from this approach. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher or a parent, these 4 pillars are basically a blueprint for future-ready learning. Stay rooted in your principles. Embrace new things, but do it wisely. Think globally. And maybe most important of all, nurture a real love for learning that lasts a lifetime. I'll just leave you with this final thought. We're all searching for the next big thing in education. But what if the answer isn't something new at all? What if it's a timeless philosophy that was built on the very idea of adaptation? What if the key to the future has been right here with us all along?